Okay, so I pulled the full birth chart as much as I could for every single person in the Big Brother 28 house. Not just their star sign or their sun sign, but the whole thing. Mars, Venus, Mercury, the moon, all of it. Well, besides the rising, of course. I don't have the birth times. But I made a bunch of calls about how these people are going to play before any of them set foot on a live feed. Then the feeds opened day one, and you guys, it is already happening. I see a triple Aries on Fire Child, a triple Gemini who's already spilled her whole hit list, baby girl, and a soft little Pisces who's being called a gamer with a capital G. And the near total water sign is the most loved person in the house. So I don't even think this is horoscopes anymore. I think this is receipts. So let me show you. But also, like, real quick, full transparency before we dive in, because I don't want to lie to you. I actually recorded some of this entire breakdown already. Sat down, did the whole thing, the charts, all of it, like my initial before I was gonna have my opinions on people in the astrological way. I won't be talking anything I talk about on this platform will be in an astrological manner. There will not be mainly like personal thoughts from me a lot. At least I'll try not to. But sorry, let me get like a little comfy. But yeah, so I did record an initial episode and it ghosted me. It just left. But like whatever. At this point the feeds have opened since then anyway, so I just figured I'd just go ahead and do a big one, a full thing, and walk you through every chart in the house and show you how the feeds have already been proving it. So like one giant episode. So if you heard me tease some of this before, nah, it didn't save. But now we're here, so it's fine. Let's just get into it. If you're new here, this is the channel where I'm going to be reading the Big Brother house through the actual charts. And like, let me talk about why the two kind of go together so perfectly. So the zodiac is a language humans built over generations by watching what the year does, in my opinion. The way the light and the climate shift as the sun moves through the whole cycle and how each of those phases feels to live inside. I like to look at the zodiac as 12 seasons of lived experience turned into 12 ways of describing how people move through the world. And a birth chart is just that language pointed at one person. It's a snapshot of the sky the moment they were born, their fingerprint. Your sun is akin to your core identity or the identity that you're working towards the most in your life, sometimes I feel. Your moon is like your private emotional world or the thing that you maybe go to the soonest when you're stressed. You're more of your subconscious behaviors potentially. I'm a Pisces moon and I suck my thumb when I'm stressed. And I think that is a very Pisces moon thing to do. Not saying that only thumb suckers are Pisces moons, but I'm just saying, like, if I saw a girl sucking her thumb at my grown age, I might say she could be a Pisces moon. But yeah, your Mercury's like how you think and talk, and Venus is how you love and bond, and Mars is how you fight. Now, when we put a person like that into a sealed house with cameras in every corner, no phones, no clock, no outside world, there's nowhere to hide who you actually are. So, I'm not predicting the future. I'm going to try to read who these people already are and telling you how it plays out when nothing can save them but their own nature. And one honesty note, I have everybody's real birthday, so every placement is accurate. The only thing I can't give you is rising signs, which is a huge part, but we need a birth time, and I don't have those. So I consider this to be deep and real. But obviously not the last word. Even if I had the rising, it's still not the last word. Free will plays a huge, big part in your astrology, by the way. Nothing can make you do anything. But yeah, so I love the feeds. I love watching them. But I've also have watched like the Rob has a podcast commentary on it. So if I reference Taryn or some things that maybe were said during the draft, I don't think I watched the premiere episode yet. I'll go back and watch that. I love Rob has a podcast. It's like one of my favorite things. But all right, so now that I have gotten that out of the way, let's talk about where the game actually stands right now. Let me kind of set the table because the feed's only just opened and it's a little early. But we came in with 14 new house guests, and then the game dropped in some oldies, not even some oldies from All Big Brother. We got Angela from Big Brother 26. She's back. Miss Crazy Eyes. We got Rick Devins from Survivor. Mr. Edge of Extinction. I love Rick. And I love D. D is my girl. She actually won Survivor 45, and she came in as a late arrival, and she immediately won the head of household. So a Survivor winner is running the first week of Big Brother. This is going to be a good season. And Miss D, as bad as she is, she's gorgeous. She nominated 3 people, Taylor, Mallory, and Yash. And her stated target is Mallory. The have-nots on a squeaky spinning wheel bed are Devins, Taylor, Chuck, Haley, and Drew. The veto has not happened yet as of me talking right now. So everything's kind of still wide open. We're day 1 into the feeds. Nobody has been evicted. This is like very top of the season. So now the big picture, because the charts, like I swear they told me the shape of this house before anybody did anything. So there's 3 patterns. 3 chart-wide patterns that I think define this cast, and I feel like day 1 of feeds already back up all 3, okay? So one pattern I noticed when I was looking at everything is they talk like air, but they fight like fire. So the sun signs, they lean more airy and diplomatic and social, but 9 out of the 14, they have Mars, which is the planet of how you fight, and that is in a fire sign. So the surface is kind of all like good and charm and negotiation. We smiling, but it's like you're smiling, but it's like a little, because it's like a little aggression right underneath. And honestly, like on the very first night of feeds, what do we have? People being sweet at the table, and then somebody crying in the have-not room, and somebody else's aura farming in the backyard. See, the politeness is real, but the fire is like right up underneath it. A second thought is we have a lot of Gemini moons. It's like a Gemini moon epidemic in this house. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people in the house don't know their moon signs, but like they all start talking. Moon, I'm a Gemini moon. I'm a Gemini moon. I'm Rome, Jason, Mallory, Melody, Rick, and D. 6. It's so many people in their emotional core, like the Gemini. Gemini is a sign that literally processes life by talking. And on the number 1 theme of the first feed day, I feel like it's people talking too much and getting themselves in trouble. It's like right on schedule. The third pattern is the real emotional water in this house is very rare, and the few people who have it, they stand out immediately. LaTrice is almost pure water, and she's already like the most beloved person in the house. So I think you should hold on to that thought. But all right, now let me take you through the whole house. I'm grouping people by the role their chart gives them, and I will, for each one, I will give you the chart and then what they're kind of already doing on the feeds. So let's start with Rome. Because Rome, I think, is the best example of astrology playing out in real time that I've ever seen in my freaking life, okay? So Rome is a triple Aries, Sun, Mercury, and Mars. I'm tired. This is the most raw, impulsive, charge first, think later chart in the house. And on top of it, his natal Mercury, was in retrograde, which means he will say a lot of things before he's fully thought them through. And then he'll have to keep circling back. And day 1 to the feeds, number 1, he immediately jumps into the first showmance of the season with Lyric. Literally day 1, no pacing, pure Aries, I want it now type of vibe. Number 2, and this is the one that kind of made me scream, Yash goes to him and he's like, you're the person I trust most. I know you'd save me with the veto. And Rome literally goes, nah, honestly, if I get picked, I'd throw it. I can't be the guy who wins everything. And then he goes on to say this to multiple other people. And then he even announces to the house he plans to throw a competition. Oh my gosh. And it's Mercury retrograde right now too, by the way. So that is triple Aries with retrograde Mercury in one move. It's the impulsive honesty, the need to say the bold thing, and the mouth running ahead of the brain until it like becomes a problem. You know what I'm saying? And his Venus is also in Aquarius, so very detached and like experimental. And sure enough, child, he got Lyric in one ear while people telling Haley's also flirting with him. He's just kind of enjoying the chaos. Even his love life is on brand. Okay, let's go to Kirk. I'd be forgetting he's in the house. I'm done. But he's our other Aries. He's the MMA fighter, but he is a great contrast in my opinion. Aries Sun and Aries Mercury, so he's blunt and direct, but his Mars, his fighting planet, is actually in Pisces, which is more soft and more intuitive. And his Moon and Venus, they're in Taurus, which is more of a calm and grounded type of energy. And on the feeds, he is charismatic, and he's a big talker, he holds court, but I think he's not always aware of the larger group dynamics. And that's kind of like this Aries bluntness without a hard killer instinct. Because his Mars isn't fire. That's the difference. It's dreamy Pisces. My baby brother actually has some of these same exact placements. But it just shows that he kind of like fights by feeling. So he's taking a little heat for talking a lot, but he's not the assassin of the house. He's the calm, chatty one who competes on instinct. Now, let's get to the Gemini crew. The Gemini moons. Some of them. Let's start with Mallory. On paper, Mallory is terrifying. She's a rocket scientist with her sun, Mercury, and Moon all in Gemini, the fastest mind in the house. But I told you, the danger with all that Gemini is talking your behind into a tangle. And her Venus and Mars are in Cancer, which means she bonds and she reacts from a deeply emotional, take it personal type of place. And like day 1, she gets nominated and she has the worst emotional reaction on the house. She's crying all night, asking what's wrong with her because Yash and Taylor aren't melting down, but she is. And that's not the Gemini. I think that's the Cancer, Venus, and Mars underneath. The tender core talking that kind of hits right in the heart, if you get what I'm saying. And then that Gemini, it just kind of takes over and it does the classic thing where she's telling Melody, who is actively trying to cut her loose, that if she wins HOA, she's putting up D and Kirk and Haley. She literally hands her whole hit list to the one person who could use it against her. And you know what? Before the feeds opened, I literally wrote, "Will talk herself into a tangle." And she did it in day one. I'm impressed, Mallory. Now we got Jason, our drag queen, Selena STDs. Jason is a triple Libra with a Gemini moon and a Gemini Mars. Jason's a charmer whose whole game is verbal. And on the feeds, he's popular. He works the room. He specifically befriends everybody on the bottom, the nominees and the outsider. He's very Libra. He wants to be liked by all. And he's very Gemini. He wants to talk to everybody. But here's his chart's problem, I think, made real. His whole chart is actually air. I don't see any earth, no water to make that cold strategic cut. So instead of locking in with the power, instead he's kind of like spread himself across the underdogs and quietly positioning against the vets. And the vets have noticed he's not with them. And I think that's the exact risk of an all-air chart, because you can be very dazzling socially, but you can tend to drift from where the power kind of actually can be. Now, these two are my two favorite validations, because I think these are the people everybody underrates and the charts says not to. So we got Melody, Sun in Pisces. I'm a Pisces, so hey, Melody. So, everyone's going to read her as very sensitive and dreamy. She even called herself emotional in preseason. But look at her Mars in Aries, pure fire, competitive drive, and her Mercury in Aquarius. It's like this sharp, original strategist. And I just kind of feel like she's very gently intuitive with a hidden competitive engine that people could massively underestimate. And on day one of the feeds, I think Taryn even called her gamer with a capital G. And she immediately distanced herself from her sinking friend Mallory. She starts building an alliance with Ashley. She starts talking about recruiting Comp Beast. She actually made a second final 2 with Drew. So she's mapping the whole power structure on night 1. And it's like the soft Pisces is quietly one of the most aggressive strategic minds in the house, which is literally Mars and Aries wearing a Pisces disguise. It's very fascinating to me. Now we get to Drew. Drew is 22. His sun is an Aquarius, so he reads is very cool and detached. Hey guys, I'm Drew. He's, you gotta get like a vibe of like Johnny. I can't remember what season, but Johnny, y'all know Johnny, the dentist. Without, he's a dental assistant. That's why. Isn't he? Yeah, he's the one. But it just got to give me like the tease of Johnny, without the yelling in the diarrhea room. But and am I getting that man's name right? There's too many Big Brother players. There's too many social, like reality TV star players. Okay, can never remember everybody's name. But a lot of y'all are in my soul. Okay, I cannot scrub some of y'all away if I wanted to. And child, there are some reality TV stars I have wanted to scrub from my entire soul with an exfoliating glove. I don't know why I said like that. But anyway, Drew. So he reads as cool and detached, but this is like secretly a tender, loyal, disciplined chart. Cancer moon, Venus in Pisces, so he bonds in a sincere manner. But then when you get that Mercury in Capricorn and Mars in Taurus, it makes you very serious and not someone who can be moved easily once you make a commitment. And on the feeds, he's being kind of called a little social chameleon. He heard that he might be nominated, so he quietly goes up to the HOH room, hangs out until the target moves off of him. So smart. He made a genuine secret final 2 with Melody and is literally hiding it well. He's very close to Devins, Barrett. He's threaded into the safest group of the house, and that's the Aquarius who doesn't panic, with the Capricorn discipline and the Taurus loyalty. At 22, he's playing a quiet, grounded, real game, and almost nobody's looking at him, and that's exactly his chart. Now, let's get to the people who are actually holding power, and this is where it gets a little spicy. So we got D, hot as hell, beautiful, funny. She has a smile. I love me some D, if you cannot tell. I just love her. And I loved her on Survivor. There's just like, I just could never forget her, like just like sitting there in the final, like just the way she just, I don't know, like I just love D, okay? Leave me alone. So D is our HOH. She's a Survivor winner. She's a sun in Libra. She's a charming social diplomat. Her Mercury in Virgo, however, makes her very precise and calculating, hoe. And her Venus and Mars are both in Leo, which is a very big take the crown type of energy. So she kind of looks like a warm, slightly naive social player with a cold little strategist underneath. And like on the feeds, come on, she wins HOH. She nominates one person from each group with a tidy reason for everyone. Players like Jason and Taylor are literally sitting there going, and she doesn't understand the game. She's always in survivor mode. We'll have to coach her up. They think she's naive. That's literally Libra charm and the play dumb act hiding that Virgo calculation. She's got a target off her back as a brand new arrival while running the noms exactly how she wants. Don't y'all underestimate that Virgo Mercury. She's so much savvier than she's letting on. And Barrett, he's kind of my undercover MVP, and I'm only going off of his chart, to be honest with you, really, for this, okay? Triple Virgo. My mother's a triple Virgo. He's a maxed out analyst, like literally, because he also has Leo Mars that secretly wants the big moment. And on the feeds, Barrett is everywhere and he's nowhere. He's tight with the vets, he's close to Angela and Devins and Drew, but nobody reads him as Dee's ally. And multiple nominees independently, they want to pick him to play Vito because they all trust him. He's like the opposite of it. Maybe not the opposite, but like, I don't know, like he's the guy trusted by all sides, which is like, to me, Virgo working behind the scenes and keeping his hands clean. And he's a Leo Mars. And he's reportedly excited to play in the veto. He wants a spotlight moment. Like, very precise brain, a very showy fighter. Yeah. And then we got Devins, our survivor schemer. He's an Aries sun, but Mars in Scorpio retrograde, and he's like an Aries who looks like a goofball, but he schemes deep and quiet like a Scorpio. And if you watch his seed, you know that is exactly kind of how he is. And feeds kind of have him integrated into a secret intergroup with Angela, Barrett, and Drew. They kind of like high-fiving behind the closed doors, playing it under the surface. Now, the one danger the stars flagged is that I think his reputation alone makes him a target. And Jason's already gunning for him, so I see it there. But the Scorpio Mars, it will play the long hidden game. And he's exactly where I think a Scorpio Mars wants to be. Basically, being in the alliance that nobody's talking about. And now we get to Angela, Miss Angela. She is a Leo sun with Leo Mercury, child. And she's a performer to the core. We all know this. She's a very big presence. She talks in headlines. She has to be seen. She has to be heard. That's a very big plot armor energy right there. Because a Leo doesn't fade into a wall. Right? Her Venus is in Virgo, so that's more of a critical, picky, I'm judging your work placement. And if you remember her the first time around, that's the woman who decided people were giving her low budget acting. She's hilarious in a way. But that's really Venus in Virgo reading the room and finding it beneath her. Now let's get to a little bit messy part for Miss Ma'am over here, okay? Because her Mars, how she fights is in Taurus, which is the single most stubborn, unmovable fighting style in the zodiac. Once a Taurus Mars locks onto a target, it's not letting go. It will just plant its feet and push. Moo. They're not, oh my gosh, did I just moo? They're bull. Okay, I need to stop. But you basically got this woman who reacts instantly and emotionally, and then she digs in like concrete and she's not moving off of it. And I think this combination is exactly how she gets into her own way, because she'll be feeling something fast and she'll commit to it as fast, and she's not going to be told otherwise. And on the feeds, like, what is she doing? She's dumping a ton of information on D to look completely locked in. Eve, and it looks loyal, but it's Angela. She's incredible looking loyal. That's Leo Mercury performing devotion, while the Taurus Mars keeps his real target parked somewhere private. So do I trust that she's actually loyal to D? The chart says she believes it today. And it also says she will plant her feet on a grudge the second her Aries moon gets set off. Angela's gonna be so much fun. Honestly, she is. And I think she's gonna be the reason somebody's week may explode. But also, one on this note, her moon is right on the Pisces Aries line. So without the birth time, I actually can't be 100% for her. But her reactive temper, I think it still screams Aries side to me. But who knows? All right, why are you not moving? There we go. Let's get to a few more. Oh my gosh, where'd my pictures go? I may have missed it for LaTrice and Taylor. How did I miss my black girls? I'm a black girl. How did I miss my black girls? I'm a black woman. I'm sorry, guys. I would go fix it, but I have a shift soon, so I want to kind of finish this. But LaTrice, Lala, she is the elder of the house at 57. And I love her chart. Her sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars are all in Cancer. And then she has a Pisces moon. Hi, I'm Pisces moon. But this is very pure water, the rarest thing in the house, like in this airy and fiery house. So she feels everything. She can read the room like radar. and she has the ability to be very nurturing on instinct. And on the feeds, she's the most well-liked person in the house. She's very close to Taylor, and she looks out for her, and she keeps her options open with a lot of social capital so far. This, to me, is the emotional intelligence the house is starving for, and she's already safe without even trying. She's my long game sleeper. And then we got Taylor. She has her sun and Mercury in Libra, so she's a natural peacemaker. And she's also a school counselor, so she de-escalates conflict for a living. But baby girl, her moon is in Capricorn. That's a very still, underneath type of energy to have, very disciplined and ambitious. And on the feeds, I feel like she handled her nomination very gracefully in public. And then she went and cried alone in the have-not room. She has a few real connections. Only Lala, I think, is truly in her corner. But that is the exact chart, kind of like composed for the group, but feeling it very hard and private. And her Mars in Leo, it gives her the pride to keep fighting. And that whole 3-team strategy she pitched, I think, is the Capricorn moon planning 3 moves ahead. Wait, no, yeah, wait. Because actually, I want to talk about lyric, but not lyric with Rome. But I don't have it as a slide. It's just like, it's still another, like, just like side note. Well, lyric, she's one half of the showmance with Rome. She's a Taurus, Sun, and Mercury. So that's a very grounded and not going to be one to move once you commit. But she has her Venus in Aries. My Venus is Aries. And her moon's in Leo. So she chases what she wants directly and fast. And sometimes needs the romance to kind of be a production is what I'm getting from her chart. And I think that's why she kind of locked onto Rome in about a day and slid into the baby talk the second he walked in. Child, I was like, Rome is a money pit. She's also tight with Jason, and that Taurus loyalty plus Aries Venus plus Leo moon can very easily equate a fast, dramatic, all-in type of showmance. Why are my notes are out of order? Okay, anyway. Quick lightning round on the rest, because this was supposed to be first. But we got Ashley stacked with an Aquarius with the Taurus moon. A very cool bartender who belongs to everyone and no one. And sure enough, the food feeds, I feel like, kind of can't place her, which is exactly the Aquarius move. Then you got Chuck. He's a triple Libra with the Pisces moon. He's the most likable in the house. He's loosely floating with Haley and Kirk, and he's safe this week, which fits the Libra, who connects everyone but hasn't really committed. And then we got Miss Haley, who I keep forgetting who she is. And Haley, she has the double Virgo with Venus and Mars and Leo, which is like an organizer who could stay low, but whose Leo side is going to kind of want that attention. That's why that hair is that color. It's like, I could be chill just to be like a nice girl that y'all wouldn't even notice, but I'm going to have like this like muted red that's going to make y'all actually notice me. I feel like it's a little bit of Leo energy. But on the feeds, she's spending too much time in the HOH and flirting with Rome and taking heat for it, which is the exact tension of her chart. And Yash, he's an Aquarius with the Capricorn moon and a Mars in Aries. He's on the block, but he's totally calm and classy about it, which is the Aquarius detachment plus the Capricorn composure. He even called Dee the wrong name, which tracks for the last minute ad, like for the person who benched the show but doesn't know the people yet. But yeah, so now we go back and we'll talk about the limes. Like, this is a very quick showmance breakdown, because the fees have already named them limes. Lyric and Rome. I was say just rhymes. Rome, like I said, he's at triple Aries who moves at light speed. Lyric, she's at Taurus who digs in like cement, but with an Aries Venus that chases hard and a Leo moon that wants a spotlight and like romance. So when you put these two together, of course they're kissing and planning their life outside the house by day one. Two people who both chase hard. One of them locks in permanently. The baby talk, the drama. That's a Leo moon getting exactly the production it craves. Now, the problem is Rome is so busy aura forming and canoodling that he's actually not building any actual alliance, and the power players are already floating him as a future target. So, Aries, it likes to burn bright and early, right on cue. So, where's my board day one into the feeds? All right. Rising, I'm giving it to Drew and Melody. That quiet Aquarius and that secret killer Pisces both threaded into safe spots and playing grounded real games while nobody watches. I'm giving it the steady and safe to Barrett, Mr. Undercover Virgo that everybody's trusting, and D with that Libra with the Virgo brain who has a survivor trophy and a clean first week so far. Then our water anchor, Miss LaTrice, loved, options open. She got a ton of social capital. My long game sleeper. And in danger, I feel like Rome, she's already burning too bright too fast. Mallory, she's been tangling herself up. She talked herself onto the block and she just kind of kept talking when you really think about it. And then we got Jason, the all-air charmer drifting from the power. And on the block right now, we have Taylor, Mallory, and Yash with the veto still to come, which is, for these three, the single most important comp of their game so far, which is the game just started. But here's where I'm obsessed. I feel like I'm making all these calls off nothing but birthdays before a person like touched the feed. The one I did that no one would ever hear because it didn't save. But day one in the house, it's already behaving like a cosmic script to me. The fire signs are fighting, the air signs are talking, the Gemini moons are spilling, the quiet water and earth players are the ones quietly winning. So if you want to, this is what I would love. Drop your sun and moon in the comments and tell me who your cosmic twin is in the house. Because, child, some of y'all know y'all are wrong, and you may need to hear it today. Or you could be a lyric. Aries Venus over here, too. So, who knows? But, yeah, I'm curious. Anyway, I don't know when I'll be doing this exactly or how I'll be doing it. I'm not going to promise. I didn't have Angela's birthday originally. So that's why I said that. I forgot to change that. But it is what it is. I don't know. I said every week all season, but that's a lie. That is actually a lie. It will not be every week. It will be when I feel like it, to be honest with you. But that's all good and dandy. So I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown. If you're listening, I love you. I don't know why, but I love you. I guess because you're listening. That feels like a little narcissistic. I don't know. But I love this house, and I love that this little Big Brother area is like just so messy and fun, and yeah, that is all I got to say today. Bye, guys.